Hello friends, and welcome to Tuesdays at Tiny Taiga. I'm Blake. This is episode 22. Today I want to talk about the way we see each other and the way we see ourselves. I think there's a lot of, maybe not talk around it, but there's a lot of talk right now around the idea of seeing each other as we are all one. Seeing you as my kin, as my brother, as my sister. And I think in doing that, we're almost trying to make ourselves see each other in a uniform way. Like, we're all the same. We're all one. And I think that this is true in here. But to actually acknowledge the differences in all of us, the uniqueness in all of us, the beauty in all of us, has been something I've been resonating with and thinking about a lot lately, is how do we actually genuinely allow ourselves to see each other with love? People that you don't know, people that you wouldn't necessarily resonate with on any personal level, instead of washing them away so that you can see the oneness in them, actually genuinely seeing the uniqueness in them and what makes them special, what makes them beautiful, what makes them different. Like, we are all different. This is the magic here. We're all different. I'm different. Look at me. I'm different. You're different. Whether you're short or tall or big or small or wherever you come from, whatever you're wearing, whatever you smell like, whatever you taste like, whatever you sound like, whatever language you speak, this is the beauty of us. This is not the part that we should negate or ignore. This is the part we should embrace and love. But I was doing this exercise a few months ago, particularly when I was at this airport. This is when I started. And I thought it was an interesting exercise to actually get to the point where you genuinely fall in love at first sight with everybody. And how to actually train yourself to do that, what that does when you start to look at yourself. And this exercise was fun, and I'm doing this regularly now. I'm trying to. What if when you see somebody on the street, no matter what they look like, no matter what your initial thought process is about that person, we all have them, like, oh, that person's, their clothes are dirty, or they look like this, or they look like that, and we immediately disconnect from that soul. It's a natural response. We do this. We all do it. Everybody on every planet, on every continent on the planet, we do this. We look at people, and when they look different, we disconnect from their soul. So what I started doing was, when I would see somebody, I would think in my head to look at them through the eyes of the person that loves them. Not like me looking at them like, oh, I can't possibly love them because blah, blah, blah. Not a romantic love necessarily. Maybe it's the love of, what if that was my child? What if that was my husband? What if this woman was the most amazing woman I've ever met, and I'm completely in love with her? So I started to try to see people that way as soon as I saw them. Like, look at them. Like, instead of looking at them the way I would look at them through my eyes, through the eyes of this person in this lifetime, I started to just look at them through the eyes of somebody who loved them, the person who loved them. And at first it was interesting, because I would go, no, there's no way. My response was crazy, was weird. Like, who loves that person? To imagine that there are reasons why someone would be unworthy of love is sick, but we all have that. That's how we look at each other. This exercise was fascinating to me because it started to become something that instantly was happening. I would look at somebody instantly through the eyes of the person that loved them, and I saw them in a completely different light. I saw the softness in their eyes, or their heart just walking around on these two legs. I saw their soul, I saw their spirit, I saw their pain. It was an instant thing at some point, and it really resonated with me as this idea of love at first sight. When you start to actually look at people that way, when you look at them as though you are looking them through the eyes of the person that loves them, you see them that way. You see them in a different way. They don't look different anymore in a negative way. They look beautiful. They look full. They look whole. They look like a complete person. And to start looking at yourself that way when you look in the mirror, to see yourself through the eyes of the person that loves you and adores you and thinks you're the most amazing person on the planet. That's what we all are. We are all extraordinary, complex, complicated, beautiful, whole beings that are carrying around the weight of the world and past lifetimes and our families and our friends and our fears and our insecurities. I mean, that's who we are, and we're all extraordinary and stunning beings. And if we could just train ourselves to see each other that way, through the eyes of someone, the person that loves you or that loves them, I think that our relationship to each other and to the world, to ourselves, can change dramatically. It's just an interesting exercise. So I leave that with you for this week. I also invite you to the Tiny Taiga springtime event that I'm doing this Saturday, the 22nd, from 5 to 7, out in the parking lot. There will be a little artisan market. There'll be live music. Inside will be organic wine and infused water. There'll be a 15% off the whole store sale. And there's always only beautiful, wonderful, good people that you'll see and that you'll meet, and hopefully you'll look at with eyes of love. And I invite you to come from 5 to 7 on Saturday. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you soon.